So your HTML and your style.css files should be updated a little bit. And you should see that we still have all these styles down here. I'm actually going to delete everything in the navbar style for now because we're just going to redo all of it. Actually, yeah, I'm going to delete the whole thing. So everything in the navbar section is going to be deleted. And I'm going to do two things here. In the body section, I'm going to say all the H1s, the H2s, the H3s, the H4s, the H5s, and the H6s. All of them are going to have the same style. That style is going to be that I want them all to have a margin of 0 also, so they don't take up any extra space. And I want the font family to be the other one. So we chose one for like the normal text, which I chose Carla. The other font family, I used Unica 1. But you should pick whichever one you wanted your titles to be in. So all like the titles, anything with the H1 or like a header is going to have a different font than for your normal text. And just these two things right here are going to cover most of what we need for our actual application. And then right below that, I'm going to create a comment. And this is going to specify that I'm about to get some styles for the navbar section. You don't have to do this. This is just a good way so I know exactly where all my stuff is. And I don't have to think about it too much. Honestly, I just like to style this nicely because it's fun, but it really matters none what you do here. I just like mine to look pretty. Oh, look at all those stars. And it gives you some more time to type things in, since all of you are lagging a little bit. Bam. That looks so pretty. What do you think? You like it? No, you don't care? Okay, that's fine. Gives you more time, though. Now, once you have that down, all of my navbar styles are going to go right down here. Below the navbar styles, I'm going to have my main styles. Below that, I'm going to have my footer styles. And so this is just an easy way to know where all of my code is supposed to go. I need an extra star in there. There we go. That looks nice. So for the nav bars, we're going to have to update it a little bit. The first thing we need to update for the nav bar is that I don't want it to look like this right now. And so to do that, I'm going to add a couple additional styles. I'm going to say that my nav bar should have a width of 100%. So you don't have to delete it all if you don't want to, because some of these things are the same. 75 pixels with a background. What did we say it was? RGB 40, 50, 60? Yeah, you can keep all of that. Cool. And we said the color was white. Okay. And we said display flex. I'm just actually going to say align items center. That's all I'm going to do. I think that's all we need for right now. Honestly, for the nav bar, that is almost everything I'm going to have for the nav bar styles. And just by doing that, it already looks nice enough. I'm comfy with that. For whatever reason, my fonts didn't load. Let me refresh. There we go. And you should see your fonts displayed there as well. So there's my connection, the name of my app. I think I spelled it with an X last time. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you call it. And then right here I have my login section. Now this is the part we're going to change the most. The main section we're actually going to change a bunch. So just to give you a heads up. This is all we did though. I just like refactored the nav bar a little bit. Now inside the index.html, we're actually going to make a couple different changes. Are you ready? Want me to take a second, Kimberlina? Now in the index.html, I'm going to head back in here. I'm actually going to delete everything inside the main. Don't get mad at me. We're just deleting it all. It's gone. I deleted everything inside the main because we're going to redo it. This is called refactoring. When you want to make something better by changing the code up a little bit, you refactor it. This is the beginning of our refactoring. Now this main section is going to have two halves, a left half and a right half. To do that, I'm going to create two divs. One with the class equals left half, and one with the class equals right half. Inside the left half and right half, we're going to create what's known as a hero, which is like a big section that people look at when they first come to your app. And we're going to create a sign up component, or sign in, or however you want to do it. These two things are going to have a couple things in them, but first, we actually have to style the main left half, and the main right half. To do that, I'm going to use the same ideas we used previously, but I'm going to make it look a lot nicer. Is that cool with everybody? So open up your style.css. Once you put the main div with the class of left half and a div with the class of right half, open up your style.css and head down to the section where it says main right here. Yeah, so we already have a section called main.main, right? And a login holder and a button, all that stuff. Delete the login holder because we don't need it, and just grab that main.main, and we're going to redo that. You should already have a section called main.main in there. We're going to redo this section called main.main. Now, a couple things here we're going to do. The first one is that we're going to get rid of this minimum height because we're going to change it to something. I'm going to keep this background. I'm going to keep the display grid, but I'm going to get rid of grid template rows, and I'm going to change grid template columns. Now, a really easy way to make columns in CSS grid is to use the repeat function. You could say repeat 10 times one fraction. Who wants to guess what this does if you did your CSS Flexbox challenges on Free Code Camp? Yeah, exactly. It's going to give you 10 columns, each of them the exact same fraction. You repeat that 10 times. You repeat one fraction 10 times. And this will make 10 columns. I'm also, instead of saying, actually, no, I'll keep this. But I do want to say, I'm going to make this width 100% to make sure it's 100% the width. And now we're going to change the min height to something new. This is something you probably have never seen before. We're going to calculate by using calc. I want you to take 100 view height, the entire height of the screen, and I want you to subtract 75 pixels for it. This is the nav bar. And then subtract another 50 pixels from it for the footer. What this will do is it will calculate the height of the main section every time by taking 100% of the view height right here and subtracting 75 pixels for how tall the nav bar is, because this is 75 pixels tall. And it'll subtract 50 pixels for the footer, because I want my footer, ooh, I spelled that wrong. I want my footer to have a height, ooh, I'm going to do that, dot footer, to have a height of 50 pixels, like this. And so this is all you really need for your main section. Once you've done that, you're good to go. Now the last two things we're going to do is we're going to get a landing main left half and a landing main, or like a main.main left half and a main.main right half. So the left half of the main section and the right half of the main section. The way to do that is to make them both take up half the number of columns. So how many columns do we have total? 10. So how much do you think each column is going to take up? Dot left half and dot right half should both take up 5 columns. Now the way you do that is you could say grid column should span 5. Now we'll make each of them take up 5 columns automatically. I'm going to add a few more styles here. I want them to display flex and to have a flex direction of column. So they put things down from top to bottom. And then the very last thing I want to add is I want to give them some padding so they have some space on the inside of 15%. Once you've done that, we're ready to go. And that will be everything for our refactor for the styles. So I'll leave that here for you to take a look at. But that is all for now. In the next video, we're going to actually put some content in our left half and right half, and you'll start to see what this website is going to do.